evening, Merry Christmas coming along next week, and welcome to News Geelong on this Friday, the 20th of December 2013. Kids, only 5 more sleeps until the annual visit of our very friendly and lovable Father Christmas. Leading off our program tonight, the Geelong 21 Regional Growth Implementation Plan has been finalised and signed off by the 5 region G21 councils and the G21 board. The plan identified future critical infrastructure and services needed to meet the region's expected growth to a forecast population of 500,000 residents by the year 2050. Meryl Friend reports.
The launch of the G21 Regional Growth Plan and Implementation Plan was happening around Geelong this week, with the mayors of 5 G21 members council available to have a chat to us. And we're joined with our Mayor of the City of Greater Geelong, Darren Lyons, and we have the launch of the G21 Regional Growth Plan and the Implementation Plan. Now, can you tell us just a little bit of an overall?
Well, I think it's really an infrastructure project going, and many projects, more than 250 projects, getting ready going to 2050 and the increase in population. So it's incredible for us as mayors to have an implementation plan going forward for the whole region, the whole G21 region, which is crucial with regard to lobbying at federal and state government. So we have a great team here today, and we have a great plan, and we're looking forward to creating the pillars to make it happen.
So for 2050, we're talking about 500,000 residents in the City of Greater Geelong. What types of implementations are we looking at, and what areas of infrastructure need to be looked at?
It's a good question, girls.
Well, there's growth everywhere, and we've got to make sure we've got the proper infrastructure for it. We've got to make sure we've got public transport. That's one of the most important. But also schools, kindergartens, hospitals, and all the essential services such as police stations and ambulances and things. So it is a very important document for us to be guided by, and it's fabulous that the 5 of us and all our councils all agree on it.
So what are those 5 regions?
We have Geelong, Greater City of Geelong. We have the wonderful Colac and Otway. We have Golden Plains, and we have the Borough of Queenscliff, and of course the Surf Coast Shire. So
the major growth areas, you think?
Well, Geelong's growing in many areas, but also in Torquay we're having a lot of growth towards this sprawling. So we've got to really work out where we're putting our growth and make sure we do it well. And I presume in the others they're all got growth as well?
Certainly. For instance, Golden Plains desperately needs a secondary school. We're looking at transport implications. We're also looking at the growth of the Geelong Performing Arts Centre and the need for a redevelopment there. So the range of facilities, so that we have communities that in the long term are not only socially and economically sustainable, they're also very prosperous.
I suppose the other thing too is where is all this funding coming from?
And that's a plan that we can take when we lobby both state and federal government. We have a plan there that affects the whole region, not just one area, but the whole region. The plan's worked out. We have identified our priorities, and it's all in the plan, and we can use that as a lobbying tool, both federal and state.
And I think also what's important is just recently up in Canberra with my meetings with the Prime Minister and several senior ministers in the Cabinet, not only that federal and state, we have to give a very clear message to exactly what we want and the fiscal backup to go with that and the business plan. And that is very, very important that I had the message sent back that Geelong and the region particularly have to sing from one voice, and that's exactly what G21 is about. It's about all of us together, all of us working out our agreements and going forward. Because if you're all over the place, they're not going to listen. It's about one voice from a great group of people that know exactly what the future is about our region.
There's strength in numbers, I guess.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there is no doubt in Canberra that several ministers said to me that, you know, G21 was mentioned more than 3 or 4 occasions within those meetings. So at the end of the day, they do see it as a great group that are on the same page, and that's where the future of our great areas have to be. It's no good having buzzing noises coming in from every direction of Geelong. That's why we're elected leaders, and that's what we've got to do for the future of our great citizens.
Well, it looks like a very strong group, and we wish you all well. What's probably one of the first things in that time frame of the process?
Certainly the Golden Plains Intensive Agriculture Hub will be kicking off. That will hopefully provide some nearly 800 jobs into this whole region. That is one of the first and most critical issues that will certainly lead through. We're also looking for an upgrade of the Avalon Airport, and so that we can actually get that produce that's being produced in both Golden Plains, Surf Coast and Colac Otway into the bellies of aircraft and off overseas. Thank you.
I think Avalon is absolutely crucial. Obviously, my first, 3 weeks in as mayor, I've been crucial in the negotiations to saving the 70 jobs there prior to Christmas. And I was actually talking to David Fox over the weekend, and with the Prime Minister arriving with Rose's great new establishment, the RACV Club, this morning, it was discussed again about his delegation to Asia in the new year, and which we've been invited on. So he sees Avalon as an absolute key. We do need to get an international carrier in there, and also it affects all our regions, tourism and infrastructure. This is absolute key, and I think it's important that all of us, you talk about Jetstar, all of us today have got to support all our communities to fly Jetstar. Let's make that business even more successful than what it is, and if we support it, it really shouldn't be going anywhere. Schedules need to have a look at and change, but look, that airport is absolutely key to all our growth, and it's key to the future. I can't wait to see the day that there's 500 jobs at Avalon, and absolutely we've got to work closely with the Fox family, state and federal governments to make sure that happens.
You're going to say something else?
The completion of the ring road's most important as well, and that will make sure that there's a good traffic flow right through all the region, so that's really important.
What a powerful group of people you have behind you.
We're so blessed to have the 5 regional councils so supportive of G21, and to have the leadership from the mayors who are prepared to work so hard together to forget about individual priorities, to come together as a region and progress the planning for out to 2050, when we'll have another 200,000 people living in this region. What we've done through the growth plan is work out where those people will live, and now with the implementation plan we've identified the critical projects that are needed to serve a population of 500,000 people, and it's very important that the 5 councils work together on that. As you heard Mayor Lyons say, that when we go to Canberra they want to know the priorities of the region, and the fact that 5 councils can work together to identify the common priorities is pretty unique in Australia. And when we go up to Canberra, people are very impressed by the fact that we have all our mayors with us, and we have our CEOs and our elected directors. It's very clear when the G21 region goes to Canberra that we mean business, and of course we've had a great success as well over the last few years in that lobbying. We've had the Prime Minister in Geelong this morning down at Torquay opening the RACV resort. Prior to that he was down on the Great Ocean Road reconfirming the $50 million commitment that we secured during the federal election campaign from the coalition. So we know that working together, speaking with one voice, actually reaps success. So we're looking forward to taking these projects forward. Some of them will be a long way away, but the critical ones are the completion of the ring road, the expansion of the capability at Avalon Airport, the finishing off of many infrastructure points, roads into the Port of Geelong, and seeing the realisation of the Geelong Ring Road Employment Precinct. So they're very important projects in the short term.
The whole region feels like it's in really good hands and moving forward strongly.
It is moving forward strongly. The fact that we've got 5 mayors so committed, they all get on well together, work well together, respect each other, and what each council recognises is what's good for Geelong is good for the whole region. Everybody benefits from that. So it is. We are lucky. It takes a lot of work to keep it going. There are a lot of people involved in G21. We have over 300 professional volunteers who support the leadership of the mayors and myself. So it's we're really the sum of all of those parts, and I think that's what makes it so compelling.
From the series Lookout, Meryl Friend, News Geelong.
Thank you, Meryl. Exciting times ahead for the G21 region. This is News Geelong. As we go to a break, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter and YouTube each week, and we do appreciate your feedback. We'll return with more news after this. Ho, ho, ho!